when did you feel stable about how things were in terms of money, and did you start thinking about
I never,
no, no,
not
oh my
even.
gosh. Do you
So
think
fun. Why
about
should it be stable?
saving or investing, or how do you approach that? I shouldn't put words in
I
it.
mean,
How do
for
you
me,
approach?
it is about the story I'm telling myself and story I'm trying to tell. So it's I don't approach it in a very clinical way.
Okay.
In fact, I don't understand numbers at all. Sometimes I have to really look hard to see how many zeros are there. Maybe I'm missing a zero or there's one additional zero.
Yeah.
I'm really bad
Sometimes
with
you breathe,
numbers.
and then yeah.
Yeah. So it's not. I don't like. I don't like dealing in money. I see my emotional investments and then I try and see what's going to help me emotionally, and then I would invest in that. So I would not probably save X lakh of rupees or aim to save that. I would save for a holiday, and then that will help me. Or like I would save for a guitar that I have to buy, or maybe I see that I want to start a studio, and for so I link my investments to emotions,
Yeah.
and unfortunately I don't look too far into the future, so it's quite like 1 year 2 year maximum. Like more than that, like once this guy from the bank called me and was talking to me about retirement, and I started laughing and I said like I'm like I never thought I'm going to graduate out of college. I never thought that I'm going to retire. Probably till my body gives up, I'm not going to retire.
Yeah. I mean, but having said that, I think it's fair though. It's that I think there's a superimposition of what your goals should be, that they should be a home or a car or whatever else. I mean, your goals are perfectly valid for you, right? A vacation or an instrument or a studio. Um, is there still, you think, a sense of sort of pressure on people who choose the performing arts, saying, you know, this is not the right profession, or this is not going to give you financial stability, or that you've got the wrong goals going? Do they have to push back against that?
Yeah, because it's still things are much better from when I started. They're much more systemized. You get your royalties and you have a system. There's a kind of a code in terms of how much people should get paid. People understand the roles of people, what they're doing in each job much better than it was before. But at the same time, I feel it's still seen as extracurricular, right? So it's not the main thing. When you talk to people who are in corporate jobs, even the way that they talk, you realize that they don't really consider what you do as a job. They see कि वो तो बैठे रहते हैं, freelancer हैं, like freelancers always available for a coffee kind of a kind of an attitude, where you don't realize that as a freelancer probably you have to work harder, and probably you have to I apply for leave for myself, so which I sometimes reject. I'm my boss, so it's not that kind of as easy as people may think. A lot of the corporate sector people discovered work from home culture during the pandemic, which was kind of not new for us, because we were always kind of working from home. In fact, I never even called it work from home. I used to call it live at work. So you are kind of living at work, which is where you start to draw the boundaries and make sure, like, where you exceeding your discipline in terms of work and your personal life boundaries. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it's not people don't understand what a freelancer does much, and how they make a living. They don't take the job seriously, and I feel it's also the way in a schooling system how arts and music is not taken that seriously. Even like even in subjects, like I remember in social science there used to be more marks for history than civics, and you see the difference it's making to a country now. So the priorities are completely warped, I feel, and that it's not an equal playing ground when it comes to people who are in the arts.
Yeah. I would say even history's gone gone down, a path that we don't recognize from what we learned. If you had to give some financial advice to your younger self, what would you say? And would you say to do something differently in terms of plotting your financial sort of journey, at least?
It's a very tough question because the times have changed now.
Yeah.
So my younger self would be living in this time or would be living in that year. That's the important
A
thing to
tough
understand.
counter question also.
Because the things have changed so much now. When I started making music was in '98 professionally. When I started making music after college, it was the age of tapes and no internet, so it was very different. Now probably it would be different now. It's very different now.
Yeah.
But
right.
we also change, so like I'm not that person anymore. I don't even know if I was in that time now I would take these calls. So it's a very, very difficult question. So I can't answer it honestly. I can just answer it in jest and make an interesting package for you, but it's a very difficult question. I don't know if anyone can answer it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, so much of what exists now, had it existed then, I think we would have all perhaps, grasped very different opportunities in life.
And we would be different people.
Yeah.
We would be different people. Like how I grew up without technology has made me a completely different person from a person who's growing up now. I see my nephews and nieces. They are very different, and I wouldn't say better or worse. I would say they're very different, and one needs to understand that, and one needs to respect that, not try and make them like us or become like them. It's a very interesting thing to understand that people can be different.
Absolutely. I hope you're giving that advice to their parents as well, who must be giving them a hard time.
Oh, they're very sharp. No, the parents these days are really sharp. They have so much, help from around as well. Yeah, I really think about my parents when they were kind of raising me as a child. It must be very difficult for them. I can't understand how they did it. But these days, parents have a lot of people giving them advice directly or through the internet or through forums or therapy. So it's quite, we're living in better times, I would say.
Yeah. So we hope.